What's up, Kobbyshots here. I hope you're doing great. Today I have something good that's going to be the start of a subsequent series of videos that will be coming to you very soon. The schedule is going to be put out in no time, so I will get straight into the video for today. Anytime I check my DMs, there's this recurring question that how do I begin photography? What camera should I buy? And all those questions that you guys are all familiar with. Today I want to share with you my recommendation of a camera that I believe is very useful in this day and age to produce astonishing images of any sort, or to help you accomplish any project that you have that needs the use of a camera. So to my beginner folks, the camera that I'm going to talk about to you is one old camera that probably you've heard of, but you haven't really paid attention to it because probably one of the reasons is it is dating back into so many years back there. I think it has been in existence for over 7 years, and is none other camera than the Canon EOS 60D. I cannot stress enough about how wonderful this camera is and how much it has stood the test of time until now. So I have a list of things that this camera is equipped with that I hope you will be convinced to consider it as a camera that you can start your photography journey with. The first thing that I want to talk about is the image quality. This camera boasts of 18 megapixels and is an APS-C sensor, otherwise known as a cropped sensor. Many of the projects that we embark on, the photo shoots, the weddings that we shoot, predominantly we showcase all these images that we've edited out of every camera that we use on Instagram. It is generally for internet consumption, and the internet also has a stake on every image that you upload. The internet compresses your pictures anytime you post them significantly, so no matter what camera that you use, you're still going to have a compression of your images once you upload them. And talking about a camera that has 18 megapixels is way more than enough for this day and age, because new cameras are coming out that don't come equipped with an 18 megapixel sensor. Having an 18 megapixel sensor within this camera makes it capable of producing images with a reasonable amount of detail. So taking images with this camera ensures that the 18 megapixel sensor is able to produce images that if you zoom in countless times, it takes a very long time before the image starts to pixelate or deteriorate. The versatility of a camera is very imperative, especially when it comes to the interchangeable lens feature. This camera is not an exception. It gives you the opportunity to swap one lens for the other. Currently mounted on my Canon EOS 60D, I have a 50mm 1.8 lens, which I can swap for any other lens that I own. I have an 85mm lens that you can see I'm swapping the 50mm for. This feature makes this camera still useful in this year 2020. So beginners, consider this camera because you're not going to regret it. One great mentioning is the design of this camera. The design of this camera is so simple. Even the number of buttons that you have presently positioned on the back of the camera and on the top of the camera body aren't too many, and this makes it very user-friendly for especially you beginners over there. Photography becomes a pain when you don't really understand the buttons present on your camera body. So having a Canon EOS 60D will give you the opportunity to work with the simplest of all the features that you can ever come across on a DSLR camera. So pick up a 60D and you can just start taking images, and you realize how easy and how fun photography can ever be. One major feature that puts this camera even over most of the newly released cameras and even most of the high-end cameras is that this camera gives you the opportunity to flip out the screen, and this will ensure that if you want to take a selfie or even if you want to take group pictures, you can still see yourself as you join the group to take that photograph. So if you put the camera on self timer and you want to quickly join the group, you can just turn the screen over and stand in the group, see yourself, make sure the composition is right before the camera takes that image. So this feature is worth mentioning because even some of the high-end cameras that are being released don't come with this. It comes with fixed screens. So if you want to take those group images that you can see yourself and make sure that the composition is right before you take that image, or you want to equally take a selfie, consider this camera because you can never ever go wrong with it. The last but not the least item on the list is that this camera is built like a tank. is as sturdy and as turgid as it can possibly be, even though predominantly the makeup or the entire body is made of plastic. But I can assure you that this camera can take a good number of whacks. Personally, I've bumped this camera against a number of hard objects, some metals, others concrete walls and all that, but this camera is still going strong and still produces the images that it used to. The images out of this camera are still the same as I bought it, and trust me, you can never go wrong with it once more. So guys, with all these said, the Canon EOS 60D is still a very good camera and a usable camera in this year 2020. So if you're a beginner photographer and you're looking for the right camera to get your foot right in the door, the Canon EOS 60D is a good recommendation that I'll make to you. I started my photography with APS-C sensor cameras, not exactly the 60D, but I came to love the 60D over time. My transition to using Canon was through using the Canon EOS 60D, and I began to love the color science that Canon produces through the Canon EOS 60D. So from me to you, it's based on personal experience and not what I've read on the internet or whatsoever. So take it from me and try your hands on a Canon EOS 60D if you get a chance, and you're going to love it. Thank you very much for staying up to this point through the video. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and turn on the post notification button so that you'll be notified of all future videos that I will be posting over here on this channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.